Hey, what is going on everyone, and welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Noah Shaw or Fordsixfo, and today we've got a very special video, something I've been wanting to do for over 2 years now. We're gonna be headed up 5.5 hours to northeast of Dallas to pick up a new vehicle, and I'm super excited to show y'all it. It's currently 9 o'clock and we're gonna be making this drive through the night. That way we can skip all the traffic, get there, get some rest, and be prepared for the morning to purchase the vehicle and get back home in a timely manner during the day. So let's go ahead and get headed downstairs and get ready for this very long road trip. And if y'all didn't already watch the most recent video, I did a full tour on my entire barn dominium now that it is complete and finished. So make sure y'all check out that for the progress on my house. Let's go ahead and get on the road and headed to pick up this new vehicle. Downstairs to the shop. Got the any level sitting pretty to the side right here. And the rest of the shop is empty because I've been taking a lot of the vehicles over to the new lot in Bandera, Texas. If y'all haven't heard, I'm opening an official dealership, Prime Motor Co. on Highway 16. Sooner or later, I will be taking the any level over to the lot as well. I got to get it cleaned up, especially being on a fully hydraulic lift kit. This thing just drives better than factory, and it has the option to raise it and lower it from 0 inches of lift all the way up to 13 as you see right now, and the truck is on 40-inch tires. But enough said, we're gonna get outside here and load up. If y'all haven't already seen, I got my dually work truck all set up with 24 of my RGBW rock lights and the quad row wheel lights under here. Available on my website, www.primemotorcompany.com. I went with a 20-inch gloss black wheel with 35-inch tires with the billet spikes and the billet floater caps, also with the Prime Motor Co. logo in the center. I think it turned out pretty awesome. Let me know in the comments how you think the dually turned out now that it's all customized. And thanks to my really good friend Anthony, we're going to be riding up there in his Mustang to pick up my new vehicle. That way I can just drive back home and he's going to follow. Let's go ahead and throw our bag in the trunk. It's definitely going to be a long night and a long trip with about 11 hours of total driving, but I think it's going to be well worth it, especially with the deal I'm getting on this vehicle. We're going to hit the road until we need to fill up with gas, and then we will be giving y'all an update along the way. About an hour into the drive now. We got 4 hours and 41 minutes to go. We got homie down bad with the RX-7 on the side of the road in San Antonio. Well, it's 10 at night. We just saw some like full-blown race cars just broken down on the side of the road. Hopefully those guys get home safe. We thought maybe leaving at night we were gonna miss the traffic and stuff, but there's always something going on in San Antonio. We got these guys out here. We got 3 hours and 15 minutes to go, and we're just passing through Austin, Texas. We decided to take the main highway for the drive through the night so we can avoid deer. Then during the day, we're gonna be taking a back road to take the scenic route with a lot of curves, and it's just a fun drive home. We just got to the first gas station. It's currently 12:20 at night. We're gonna get filled up and keep at it. And just topped off the car. We're gonna get back on the road for the rest of the trip. We are currently 16 minutes away. We're gonna get some rest and be ready for the morning to get this car and get headed back on the road home, get home a lot earlier. We just got up to start the day. It is 8:20 right now, and we are gonna be there in 10 minutes to check out the car, give it a test drive, and get the man paid and take it home. And pulling up, we've got ourselves a 2017 Shelby GT-350 that we're gonna be taking home today. This guy has a heck of a setup over here, beautiful house. Pretty awesome first gen Cummins here. Cranked right up even in the cold weather right away. They've got a ton of rigs out here. Now we're gonna go ahead and take it for a test drive, make sure everything's good on it, and we're gonna be taking it home. Now we're gonna go into the bank and get them all paid up for the car. Well, we got the title for the car and we're headed 5.5 hours home. And of course, I had to bring a Uniden radar detector for the ride home. Just gonna go ahead and slap that thing on there. Just gonna go ahead and top off both of the Mustangs for the drive home. Hopefully make it all the way there, but we'll probably make one stop along the way. All right, guys, we're headed back to Bandera, Texas. We've got a 5.5 hour drive. I went ahead and grabbed a water and a Red Bull for the ride. But this is definitely gonna be a fun little drive home. We're taking the back road so we can skip all of the traffic, and it's gonna be a much more fun drive with all the hills and everything. And we're both in Mustangs, so let's see how it goes. Both cars are all topped off, only $37 of gas. Taking the back roads home. We've got 5 hours and 38 minutes to go. Just test driving the car and driving it around for about 30 minutes now. It really brings me back to 2 years ago when I had my 2018 Shelby GT-350. I actually sold it because I was buying a 2021 GT-500 that I thought was going to be an upgrade, and it has 760 horsepower. Don't get me wrong. It was a super fast and super fun car, but it was an automatic and only had paddle shifters. Being in this GT-350 with the manual transmission is just so much more fun, and I think it's just going to be the perfect put around car, and man, am I just falling in love with this car again. Of course, we got the Uniden scanner, but just being in a manual car, it's just so much more interactive, and I think it's going to make for a really fun road trip, especially with all these hills on the property. This thing just shifts amazing, and everything on this car was flawless. Sellers were just all around great people and really nice to talk to. It made this transaction super easy. So big thank you to those guys for that. And I have a lot of plans for this car. I want to hear what y'all think in the comments below, what we should do, supercharger, procharger, or turbos. I'm kind of leaning towards doing a procharger on this car. And since this car is just completely bone stock, I'm definitely going to be adding an exhaust system. My last GT350 had a Borla attack exhaust and it just sounded so mean. So I'm really excited to go ahead and start ordering some parts for this thing. So stay tuned for the videos on this car and all the progress we're going to be making to it and changes. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on these upcoming videos. And now we're just rolling through Dallas. And fun fact, I used to live in Irving, Texas for about a year when I was going to school for becoming a certified diesel mechanic. With 3.5 hours to go, it's been going super smooth. The car is performing amazing as I expected, just like my last one. And this road trip has just been so much fun, especially since we were able to leave last night and sleep and break up the trip into 2 separate days. It just worked out perfectly, and just going through all the hills and these curves with the great scenery just makes for an amazing trip home. We just stopped at the second gas station. We're gonna go ahead and fill up, and this will get us all the way home. Well, we were gonna fill up here, but change of plans. This gas station only has unleaded, so we're gonna go stop at the next one and put some 93 in this beast. Another cool thing about these cars also is you have your active control for the exhaust, so you can change the exhaust mode from normal to sport. Especially driving through the city, this car just sounds way too good. Small little pool. Passing through the orchards. We're only 2 hours away from home. Going over a little bridge. We're gonna have to make one more stop to make it all the way home to fill up with 93 because the last gas station only had 87. But we're knocking out this road trip, and I'm super excited to show you all the car once we get home and give you a full walk around. As well as we're gonna take it down the road and get some drive-by videos of how it sounds now. So let's go ahead and top off the tank with some 93. Filling up for the second time now. And top her off. And my buddy's car too. Back on the road we go with only 2 hours left to wrap up this trip. The car is just covered in bugs, so it's gonna need a good clean when we get home, especially on the windshield. Pretty cool semi rolling by. But let's go ahead, hop back in the Shelby and knock out this drive so we can get home. I'm ready to be home. That never gets old. Going over the Llano River now, huge bridge. We're exactly 1 hour from home, and I gotta say I'm very impressed with the handling and the control of this car. Just going through these curves and everything, it just feels amazing. It's everything I remembered it was when I had the same exact car 2 years ago, so definitely happy to be bringing this one home. I think it was a great purchase, especially for the price I got to buy it for, so could be an investment, especially since they're never gonna make any more of these cars if I hold on to it for a while. who knows, could be worth more in the future. But either way, I just bought this car for fun, something to get around in, and I can't wait to make all the changes to it. Rolling through Fredericksburg, Texas. After 10 hours of driving, what better place to stop to get a meal than Waterburger? Got the rigs all posted up. We're gonna get a bite to eat inside and then head home. 30 more minutes for a total of 11 hours of driving today. Just finished eating a super good meal here at Waterburger, and I even got a free shake. But we're gonna hop back down into the GT-350 and wrap up the last 30 minutes of this trip. And just like that, we made it back home. Guys, now that we're finally back home, I'm going to give you all a complete walk around of the Shelby. It is still dirty. I'm going to wash it later today. First, I really wasn't a fan of the red, but along the way it's grown on me a lot. I think the black stripe with the white pinstripe really just ties it all together. So I'm going to be keeping this car red for quite some time. Maybe in the future I might wrap it, but the nice thing about it already is that the whole front quarter has PPF. You can slightly see the line of where that clear brow is on the whole front. Also behind the rear doors, there's PPF. You can see the little line right there where it stops. And on the lower of the doors and bottom, so that's gonna help protect from rock chips a ton. But it's just your classic GT350. This thing is completely stock, so you've got your Brembo calipers, some nice rotors. The brake system on this car really will stop you in your place, that's for sure. A nice gloss black spoiler back there. It could use a stage 1 polish potentially, just to bring out the shine even more, but right now it looks great, and that's over 400 miles on the road. It's still shining. You can see we got a collection of bugs along the way. I need to get some glass cleaner out for that. But inside of the car, very comfortable interior. You got your leather with all of the Alcantara, or I guess you could say suede, on the center of the seats. They really keep you in place while you're driving. You got your anti-theft device, the manual 6-speed transmission. Got your logos everywhere in the car, on the steering wheel and above the glove box. And yes, the car has a back seat, but you do not want to be the one that has to sit back there because there is basically no room. And the GT350 logo on the seats. All around, it's a simple interior, but I gotta say it's very comfortable, especially after being in it for over 5 hours straight of driving. Of course, we gotta have the radar detector in there for that drive. I think the only thing this car has that isn't stock is these floor mats, but they're pretty nice, almost like a WeatherTech design to keep all the mud in. And lastly, we're gonna go ahead and pop the hood and check out the motor. Open the hood and set up the latch. Underneath the engine bay, we've got ourselves a 5.2 liter V8 flat plane crank. This thing can rev up to 8,250 RPMs and it produces 526 horsepower. All around, it's a pretty cool car. The only other thing it has that isn't stock is a little catch can for the oil. But I say we need to make some changes here under the hood, whether it's a supercharger, turbos, or a pro charger. Personally, I'm thinking a pro charger, but let's see what y'all think in the comments below. But guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. So if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like down below, comment, let me know what you thought about the video and what we should do to the Shelby first. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future content. But other than that, I'll see y'all next time.